Hello, I'm Naomi and today I'm going to be planting some Narcissus Paperwhite bulbs. These special tender daffodils are perfect for growing in the home. They produce lovely clusters of white flowers with a lovely fragrance that you'll be able to smell every time you walk into the room. They make a wonderful living decoration for the home during winter time, and they're really easy to grow too. You can grow them in a pot like this or in a vase. I'm going to show you how to plant them both ways. And this is what the bulbs look like when they arrive. They look like ordinary daffodil bulbs. So first of all, my pot. I've got a pot with a drainage hole in the bottom so that they don't sit in soggy compost. And I've put that in a dish because obviously you don't want the water, every time you water them, you don't want it to sort of pour out onto the surface. But first of all, I'm going to put this stone just to cover the drainage hole, just so the compost doesn't wash out of the drainage hole. Okay, next. I've got some ordinary multi-purpose compost here, so I'll just fill my pot with that. There we go, just break up any lumps as you go. I'll fill it almost to the top. There we go, that will be enough. And then all you really need to do, really simply, is just position the bulbs quite shallowly on the surface. Just make a little dip for each one so that the top half of the bulb is exposed. And you can plant them quite closely as well, almost touching. So I'm going to put, I'll probably fit about 10 in this pot. Just put those in there. Positioning them pointy side upwards. There we go. And one in the middle. There we go, so that's 8 in this pot. Just firm the compost around them. There we go. Okay, so then they'll just need some water to get them started. They don't need to sit in soggy compost, but they do need to be kept hydrated, especially once they start to grow. There we go. So I'll keep an eye on the water levels of those. Also, what I'm going to do, I've got some twigs here from the garden, just some nice sturdy twigs, and the reason for that is these bulbs can get quite tall and you don't want them to start to lean over. So if you position a few sticks in like this, they will actually act to fence in the bulbs so they don't flop. Hold them nice and upright. I've chosen some viburnum, which is starting to flower, which is also quite pretty, and also some dogwood, which has some nice red stems for a bit of colour. So these look pretty as well as doing a really useful job. There we go. Just pop a couple in the middle as well. There we go, and that'll be enough to hold the daffodils upright and they'll grow through here and pop out the top, and the flowers will just be up here, just above the twigs, and the leaves will grow through the twigs and look really, really nice. And that's all you need to do with those. Just pop them on a sunny windowsill and they'll start to grow, and they should be flowering within about 4 to 6 weeks. So I'll just move those to one side. That's the pot done. So next I'm going to show you how to plant them in a vase. I've got a nice wide glass vase like this because it's quite nice to see the roots and the gravel in the bottom. These daffodils don't really need any nutrients just for flowering this year, so you can afford to grow them in just gravel or whatever you like. I've got some gravel here. I've washed it already so it doesn't make the water cloudy. And just carefully tip some of the gravel. Tip the gravel into the vase. Let's see, that's probably enough, maybe a little bit more. There we go, up to a slightly wider part of the vase, so I've got a bit more planting space. And I've got, I think I'll fit 3 bulbs in there, so I'll just position them, bury them a little bit into the gravel. So you can use decorative stones or glass beads. Pop them in there. There we go. And now I'll just put the water in. And you just want the bottom of the bulbs to be touching the water, so that you don't want them to be submerged, just touching the bottom. There we go. And that'll be fine, that's all they need. And when they grow, the sides of the vase will hold them upright, and you'll have these lovely flowers growing out the top here, and it'll look really, really pretty as well. And I'll also put that on a sunny windowsill to start it growing. Do keep an eye on the water levels. When the water starts to drop, especially when the bulbs start to grow, they'll really start to suck up the water. So just make sure the water level is always almost at the top of the gravel. And that's it. That's all you need to do. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you enjoy growing your own Narcissus Paperwhites.